Good morning. Happy 2024. Wow, we made it. 2024. I can't believe it, to be honest. Feel like time flies. I hope everyone had a great holiday. Happy Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, happy holidays. I hope everyone had a great time. Today we're going to be talking about a few different things. First off, on when you get hired, what to do next. What should be your success pattern? What should be your schedule? What should be those things to expect, and how to kind of position yourself to really succeed in the company. So we're going to be talking about this. Kind of dawned on me, I'm actually onboarding currently a new BDR we hired. So I'm kind of going through it myself, and it just kind of sparked. So I thought I'd share that with some of the things that you can position yourself to be successful in tech sales, in cybersecurity sales, if you're an SDR, BDR, AE, any type of sales. Frankly, you can kind of use the same pattern though for any company. So we're going to go through a few things. I was jotting down this morning, and you guys in luck, I wasn't going to do a video today. Actually, weather permitting, it is snowing right now. I was trying to de-ice my wife's car this morning. Weather permitting, I will be on my way to Puerto Rico this evening. I'm taking a red eye to Puerto Rico for a work conference. So should be very, very interesting. So let's talk about it. Let's say that you've used some of the tools that we've talked about. And if you're using the correct tools on job hunting, remember, so I'm working hand in hand. I'm partnering with higher levels and Tech Sales Ascension. You can definitely use the description below. You can use the code Ryan10 to get 10% off any of those courses. And that course teaches you how to land a job in tech sales or cybersecurity sales. Also, if you use that code, I do gift, you can use that, if you use the link, you can actually get any of the programs, but if you use that code, I'll gift you a free one-on-one. So make sure to use that, because using that process where you're going through Tech Sales Ascension, as well as a one-on-one with me where I can mock interview you and practice with you and give you continuous feedback, people have been getting amazing results and landing roles that way, okay? So definitely use that to get a role. Now, once you get a role, what do you do? So we got a few different things. The onboarding process with any company, if it's a good company, I understand if it's a startup, they might not have this in place. If it's a big company, they should have some onboarding. They should have some system to succeed, to set you up for success. On average, it's about 2 weeks. Okay, so it's a 2-week onboarding process. If it's a startup, if you guys are going for a smaller company, you might have to make your own, because not every company has it. I've been through a few companies that were between 10 to 30 people that didn't have really an onboarding, and you had to figure it out on yourself. So ideally they have one. If not, this video should help you kind of like achieve that. So let's say you get hired. What's the first things to expect? Well, usually they'll have a bit of a presentation. Obviously the first couple days is going to be like the HR sequence. You have to fill out all the documents and the paperwork and the tax paperwork and all that fun jazz. Then they should have a little bit of a presentation on the industry and the product knowledge, as well as the tools, okay? So some things that you wanna do when you're going through your onboarding for the first 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks, what you wanna focus on is, number one, learning as much as possible. You wanna make sure that your teachability and coachability, scale of 1 to 10, you're a 10. You're ready to inhale knowledge about the company and the industry. Okay, so you want to start networking within the company. Make sure you introduce yourself. This is where, really being able to understand, like recalling names comes into effect. Try to know something specific about each person in your company, something that stands out, and is also a good icebreaker. This is where if you go to LinkedIn, something that they're following or something they're interested in, maybe it's a book, maybe it's a certain influencer, maybe they're a Tony Robbins fan like I am, things like that. Something that you can talk about. And this will also help you become a little bit more memorable within the company. Good first impression. There's actually a true case in science. You want to make sure you have a good first impression, because it takes 7 times. If you have a negative first impression, it takes seven times, 7 hits before you can correct that first impression, that negative first impression, to a positive one. It's funny, because I've heard the same thing in sales. If you get a no in sales, it takes 7 times before you get to a yes. So magic number 7, just remember that. So you always want to start off on the right foot. understand your organization chart. So the organization chart, you have the CEO or the owners, board of directors, and then figure out how everybody's positioned with the company. How does each department and component of the company interact with each other? How does it all work as a team? Who reports to who? You want to make sure that you kind of create this almost on like a chart on a white sheet of paper. Here's our head. All right, here's this department head. Here's the people under him. Here's this department head. Here's this person that reports to him. Here's this people that they outsource. You really want to understand the mechanics of the whole business that you're in. Okay, so there's the business. That's the business portion. You want to understand the company. You also want to understand the industry. Okay, so if it's a brand new industry, say you're new to cybersecurity, right? You have to start learning the industry. What are the key competitors? Okay, who are your guys' company's key competitors? Ideally, you also want to make sure that this is layered into who are the top of the people, like what are the biggest companies in the space, who are the medium size, who are the small business, where do we fit in, as well as who are the people that we usually sell to, who are as our customer base. So you understand the company, you understand the industry, and a good thing to do with the industry is start just researching. I mean, YouTube and Google are your best friends when it comes to this point, and start making your own encyclopedia. So a person who I'm training right now, I've actually given them this task of like, I have my encyclopedia. When I first started in any company, I want you to create your own. Create an encyclopedia of everything you're learning. You create the knowledge for yourself. You put it down on paper in your own words. And especially vocabulary or acronyms, like SDLC. What does that mean? SDLC. If a customer talked about that, would you know what it is? Actually, it stands for Software Development Lifecycle. Okay, so like little things like that, you have to start creating your own kind of contents table of contents, and your own encyclopedia to all the words. Let me make sure the video is going because I got emails coming. So make sure that that's very, very important that you're doing that. So company, industry, next thing is product knowledge, okay? So product knowledge, you have to understand your product. What are the key benefits? Who is your customer base? What is a typical, how does it benefit our customers? What are there's a difference between features and benefits though. Okay, features are the nice to haves. Benefits is how it's gonna impact the other party, how it's gonna make their lives better, easier, faster in some way. So you wanna make sure that you understand that. So for the first week to 2 weeks, this is what you're focused on, okay? Understand your company, your industry, and your product. Kind of really, that's it. After that, now you're focused on the pitch. Ideally, if you have other salespeople in your company, you have the opportunity to shadow them, okay? You wanna be shadowing them, hearing what they're saying. You wanna also start looking at who are the highest achievers. There's a difference though between who are the highest earners and who are the highest achievers. There's actually a difference there. Some people can make a lot of money in a company, right? Versus another people who are the most accomplished where they made the most sales. You need to kind of find out both, okay? Who is like the top seller, but also who is the top earner. I hope that makes sense. Some people can sell a lot of stuff and then their net or the commission or the revenue is not as big as some other people who might have bigger deals. So you want to make sure who has the biggest deals, kind of those people, as well as the top achievers that way, okay? So, and understand that, and obviously you want to, ideally, you're networking, you're meeting with them, there's an art to this, an art and science. The easiest way to kind of get the attention is that you're teachable and that you hit the phones your first month like nonstop. You are just crushing it. If you can get that respect, then they'll help you, okay? A lot of people, I think, too early are trying to get they haven't deserved it yet, but it'll happen if you just kind of have that work ethic, okay? That's what happened to me, frankly. So, what we talk about? You want to make sure that you're leveraging the information of other SDRs, BDRs in your company. Number one, you want to leverage the information from other people in the industry, but also people within your company. Now, how do you do that? So ideally, if you join a sales team, there should be 5 other team members. It's a pod. And you want to start figuring out what's working for them, what can be done better, what doesn't work. So you find out actually what is the pitch within your company, your own product, but also what's within the industry. This is a big reason why I recommend SDR Accelerator. That way you're on group calls once a week with people in the industry all across a bunch of different companies, and you find out what's working for them, and they're all pretty good earners. This is something you can find through higher levels. You can use my link in the description to get all the information and to get a discount too. So definitely recommend doing that because it teaches you how to be a top SDR, BDR, and you're networking with other people that are doing it in real time. So very key. On top of that, make sure you're doing it with people within your company and you're understanding that. So that's really key. You want to also make sure that you're consuming knowledge in different components and compartments in your brain. So this is a little bit on a side tangent, but when you listen to knowledge, I know a lot of people, obviously you found me through YouTube, or or there's podcasts, there's videos. You want to make sure that you're actually getting knowledge from different channels, not just YouTube, but through reading as well. And this is very key. So make sure that you're reading books, ideally books on sales or self-development. Very key. So I've already mentioned ones that I've read in the past. I'm actually reading right now Atomic Habits over on the couch there. And there's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success Through Selling by Frank Bettker. Design Your Career Life, The Compound Effect. All of those are great books to read, okay? Reading 15 to 30 minutes a day while you're doing like networking, while you're doing consuming other knowledge like the SDR Accelerator, as well as the information within your company, very key, okay? So let's talk about a breakdown on what your schedule should look like. The first month, if you're doing a first month, let's say 2 weeks to a first month, you're really just focused on, consuming knowledge. So that means you're focused on learning within your company, the organization, how everything works together. You're focused on the product, learning about the product. What are the key benefits? You're focused on learning about your competitors. You're focused on learning about who your customers are and customer personas. You're focused on the industry. Very key, okay? So these are all little things that you can do. First 2 weeks to a month, that's what you're focused on. Don't need to do it like too much. Oh, and focus on your tools, the tools that the company uses. What CRM does it use? What does it use? ZoomInfo or Seamless AI? You got to understand the right tools. To be a great carpenter, you got to understand the tools that are in your toolbox. So you need to make sure to do that. The second month, you want to focus. That's when you focus on the pitch, your sales pitch. What is the pitch that you're going to be using on the phone? Okay, the pitch on the phone. And there's always a structure to these things. Every company's a little bit different. You should be looking at what your company's providing you, as well as what other people are working within the industry again, as well as within your company. So there's the intro, there's usually a mini discovery portion, and then there's a closing and call to action, okay? The beginning is that like, hi, this is Ryan from so-and-so. How, am I speaking to David? Things like that, things that are the icebreakers. And I have my own method. I'm not gonna give it all away. That's my secret sauce there. But you have an intro, and also you can learn this stuff on Tech Sales Ascension. But you have your intro. The middle part is kind of like a mini self-discovery. You're usually asking 1 to 2 key questions to get them talking to you, to draw out, and we talk about this in other videos, the pain points. What are the things that click with them? What are the things that resonate with them? There are things that are like, whoa. And then the third is really your mini pitch. Is the mini pitch on like, hey, I think I have something that can help you. Have you heard of X, Y, and Z? Okay, no worries. This is exactly what we do. We do this, this, and this. These 3 benefits. I think it might be beneficial for you. It might be beneficial that you can kind of see what we can do for you, either now or for the future. You have 30 minutes next week. We can put you on the calendar and I can kind of show you. That way you make an educated guess to see if it's the right fit for you. That's an example of my close. So and then obviously you get commission if you get them on like just signing, scheduling a demo. So very key is doing that and doing that consistently. You can make very good money doing this. Obviously you want to install law of averages. You have to know that not every single person is going to convert. If you hit like 100 phone calls a day, obviously you're going to get conversions every day. So you got to be very like, you can't take rejection. You got to be very open, like it is looking at it as a whole versus taking every rejection too personally, okay? So, very key on that, know that structure. First month, really look at just the knowledge. Second month, really practice on your script. Just practice on perfecting that. Practice on getting that right. All you have to, when you're starting off, just focus on getting your first demo. That's it. Don't make it too complicated. Don't focus on making $300,000 a year. Just focus on getting one demo. And then the third month, you want to, sorry, I was like looking at my notes real quick. That's right. Okay, so first month knowledge, second month system, third month, you want to make sure that you're focused. This is where you begin to focus on rising through the ranks. This is the part where you can start focusing on your income, as well as where are you in the organization as a salesperson? Are you in the President's Club, top earner, top 10%, right? Know kind of where you are. And an easy way to do this is to keep a record, okay? I would recommend journaling every day. Another thing that I do in my office is I have two charts, two time charts, one on my net income and one on the number of sales, okay? So I would recommend printing this out, I put it on my board, and I keep track of it, sometimes weekly and sometimes monthly. Kind of depends on you. For sales I do weekly, and for net income I do, not net income, gross income. Gross income I do monthly. So, I don't know why I said that. Gross income. Gross income monthly, number of sales weekly, that's what I do. But you want to chart 2 to 3 key metrics. And then, so that third one, you're then focused on rising through the ranks. You're focusing on getting to the top. You're focusing on also making the most money. So if there was a system, that would be my 3-month system. First one, just focusing on getting all the knowledge you can. Second month, focus on really perfecting the pitch. You're not worried about getting a sale. You're not trying to focus on being the top salesperson. You're really focused on getting that component down, knowing the entire process of the sales, of your sales cadence, of your sales cycle, of also the sales pitch, how you fit in. What is the optimal length? What is the optimal pitch? What is the optimal call to action? What is the right benefits to use? And then the third one is the one where you start kind of like actually like, all right, let me focus. I know who the top earner is in the company. Here's where I am. Let me focus on getting to the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. There's a very big phrase in business where it's like, master the step you're on before you get to the next step. What happens with a lot of people when they join a company, they get way overwhelmed. Here's all these tools. Here's all these knowledge. You gotta don't worry, just focus on the next step, okay? So that would be my recommendations on how to position yourselves well. I would have other ones as well, but not to make this video too long. But an easy way to do this, like I mentioned in the beginning, you want to make sure you're masterminding. You're masterminding with positive, like-minded individuals, ideally in this industry. It doesn't always have to be, it could be people in different industries, but ideally in the sales sector or tech sector, and that you all are going on the same, you're going on the same path, right? You're all going onwards and upwards, so to say. So I hope that helps. I would definitely recommend checking out some of the links below. I've included, obviously, higher levels as my biggest recommendation. I also recommend booking a one-on-one with me so we can I can look at your resume, give you feedback if you need that to help you get the job, because I know it's very competitive right now. So but it's a new year. It's a new year, new beginning. And then also I recommend Pathrise is a great community and program that's free that actually you can also get, they actually place you in jobs after you get the job, which is pretty nice. So definitely check out those links below. And then reach out to me if you have any questions, comment on the video if you have any questions. Ideally, you recommend you reach out to me through email, okay? You can reach out to me through email, through my website, resume2offer.com. But yeah, guys, also write down your goals. What are 3 things that you want to accomplish this year? It's the start of a new year. I'm looking forward. It's gonna be amazing. Talk to you guys soon, okay? All right, cheers.